Long time no see. The date is November. It's Thursday though. Veterans Day happened. So whatever this Thursday is, that's what the day is. Today's that day. Somebody said, I would like an angle of you cutting down toward your mat instead of facing. So I got a little tripod situation and I'm going to do just that. But first I wanted to chat at ya. Got my little folded wristlet situation. I have a bazaar in a couple days. I was going to make doggy stockings. I got a mic. If you're like me, you're in a family and you have matching stockings. Or you don't want to just get one stocking and then have to get a stocking for everyone else. That would be very expensive to do. In what situation would you ever be in that you needed one stocking? Well, a pet. Not everyone has a pet stocking. Some people have a pet stocking, but I thought, why not make a pet stocking? Because I have a new puppy, and these are just things people do for their animals. Bought some applique paws that were supposed to be here that aren't here. And I wanted to have a stocking to sell at the market on Saturday, but I don't have it. As I was scrolling my YouTube, waiting for the kids to get into bed, I stumbled across Tara Reed's video. I'll put her video in the description. At the very end of that video, she has a tutorial for dog bone shaped stocking. I have to think of one for a cat, maybe a fish. Dog bones. What? This coffee bites, like in a bad way. Bites figuratively and literally. Just get the stand back. My husband bought this for me a couple years ago. It's a canvas tripod. I could do without it. I thought I would love it, but I just can't figure out how to use it without my phone case. I hate having to take my phone case off every time. Let's move this up. I need a pencil probably. Oh look, there's one right here. I have some cute holiday fabric. I got these Joann fabric before they were going out of business, actually, for their Black Friday. I really should iron them first. If I had a dog bone, I want to cut it in half. Fold it in half like this so I don't have to cut it but once. And then I only need, in that case, the top part of the bone. What does a dog bone look like? I want it to be wide enough to put a ball in. Let's do the bones. Bones have like a big, and then they do like this. You guys know that I have, what is it called, aphantasia, where I can't visualize something in my mind. So when I draw anything, I have to start drawing to then correct what I'm drawing. Because otherwise I can't do it. I can't just bring the image up in my mind. My husband can do it. I can't. Like if you say picture an apple, can you picture an apple in your mind? How clear is it? For me, it isn't clear at all. This is a little wonky. They're a little misshapen. But what dog bone is symmetrical perfectly? Nature just isn't. There's no such thing as a perfect circle in nature. This needs to come out more. I want this to be more like this. Right? How big we dipping? We dipping like that? Does that look like a dog bone? We'll do it long like that there. And then my mom bought me a bunch of CDs because she wanted me to make these card holders. So I've got to pack got some nylon thread here. I've packed even my little snappy pouches. You remember those wallets where pop, pop, I got to put the hardware in there so that I have something to do at the bazaar on Saturday because I'm not very busy. I don't have stuff that people want to buy. I in fact talked about that. I have a members only channel now because I am so cool. I've been a YouTube partner since 2010. In all of my other YouTube channels, I've made YouTube partner. There's 3 of them existing as they are right now. This is my 4th one that has had any traction. This is the first time I've ever done YouTube members only videos. And I want to do members only videos because I don't want just anybody popping by and judging me. I feel like if they're going to pay to see me, it sounds so ridiculous. If they're going to pay to be around, they probably care about me a little. Or they hate me that bad, they just want to watch. People hate watch, that's a real thing. Wait, I need to be cutting toward the folded edge. Wait, yes. Thank you guys for telling me I was about to do that. This is the first time I've ever done a members only anything. Okay? And I get a little personal there. I talk about what I'm thinking, like real raw, honest feelings. Maybe I mention other YouTube channels and stuff. I'm not talking crap about them. You know what I mean? I should just be using my chalk because this isn't showing up. Can I even tell where I went here? Not at all. Not one bit. Here we go. I went back over this way. I'm just going to go grab my chalk. Here's an old-fashioned one. I bought a whole bunch of chalk pencils. Dressmaker's marking pencil. Isn't this amazing? This was, my mom got married to a man named Dave, and he gave me all of his mother's sewing things. I never wanted to open this, but I mean, I think she'd be happy knowing I Dritz. Look! Deirdre, it's Dritz! That's an inside secret. Here, got a chalk pencil. It works like a charm. Man, they don't make things like they used to, do they? This is amazing. I'm never going to want this to end. Boy, I tell you. What am I talking about? Anyway, I didn't do a clickbaity thumbnail, but kind of. I mean, my hands were in my face, but that was genuine. I just felt I was really down this week. And I talk about why in my members only video, because I figure if anybody's going to click on my video, they're at least probably not going to be brave enough to talk crap to me in the members only channel. Maybe they will. I don't know. I don't know why people click members only stuff. But I didn't want just anybody popping in and hearing my deepest, darkest thoughts. If they were just some stranger going by, because there's a lot of people like that on the internet anymore that just come by to say rude stuff and then go on their merry way to do something else. I am not cutting this correctly. I'm following my marker line, and now I'm following the chalk line. The members only content is going to be more personal because I feel like the people that would be there are less likely to judge me for being who I am. Because heaven forbid you don't act perfect online and you say the wrong thing even just a little, then the masses are at your throats. I could use that for something. Here, now we've got, that's a pretty long bone. That's a little too long. Goodness, isn't it? Doesn't that look a little silly? How big and long that is? Rats. I'll do it like this next time. Yeah, that's what I'll do. I'm just gonna sew around. Well, probably about right here. I need interior fabric, and I'll just iron them up real quick. I have 2 tiers on my members only. One is where I'm gonna put exclusive videos. I think that's $3 a month. Oh, sugar me! I should have not cut that just yet. I'll just use this as the stencil because I still need to do the lining. Do I want to do green lining? Yeah, why not? Oh wait. Where am I folded at? I'm like this. I was about to mess up again. Look at this thing, and then you can just brush off the chalk. It's just amazing. I'm gonna go inside just a little so that the lining isn't bunched up. Alright, let's see if I even like this. Let's see if this even turns out well. I'd like to add like some jingle bells to it or something. Yeah, that'll do. Now I have to haul this entire thing over to my sewing desk. I don't really know if I want to do that. This coffee is awful. My mom also bought me a bunch of CDs so that I can make these little card holders. She saw them for sale at the huge bazaar that they charge like $400 for a spot at this place, and she saw some sewing ideas there, and so she told me I need to sew these CD things. But those you all do by hand. You take 2 CDs, like DVDs or CDs, and you put some batting or fusible fleece and fabric, and you do like a basting stitch so you can pull the thread and it tightens around the disc. Then you do that same thing to the other disc, and then you put them together with a button, and then you can stick cards in there. You guys have probably seen that. I never had till my mom told me about it. I'd like to take some things to do. This booth space is only 4x6. I mean, 6x8. My other ones have always been 10x10. So I'm taking a 6-foot table and 4-foot table. But I'd like a place to sit because I'm going to work on things because I'm sitting there from 9 to 4 with almost nothing to do like the entire time. I'm going to do a video about my last bazaar. It was all right. But I have some ideas in mind about how I'm going to change things, which I kind of talk about in my members only video. I have my fall fabric here because I was going to do cute little fabric pumpkins. Isn't that cute? I got this in my Sew Sampler box from Fat Quarter Shop. Do you guys do the Fat Quarter? I mean, Sew Sampler. It's actually a really good deal. Not only did they give me this, well, they didn't give it to me, I paid for it. They give you pattern, they give you fabric. I got a add a quarter ruler and a magnet stick so I can just pick up my needles when I can't find them. Or if my back is out. for like 32-ish. It's like 30, it's like 29 a month, and then, taxes is like 30, 32, something like that. My main focus, I didn't sew it all yesterday. I was being a homeschool mom, baking in the kitchen and all this kind of stuff. I'm taking a big old bag filled with my coin poppy pouches. Those are the Maggie 55 pattern. I'm taking the CDs. So I've got to cut out some 8.5-inch circles of fabric and some scrunchies that I'm going to keep working on. Scrunchies have been, I worked on scrunchies the entire day at my bazaar on Saturday. It's just this last Saturday, and I got nowhere. I got nowhere fast. It was so defeating. Anyhow, I'm going to try to do a couple stockings. Otherwise, I'm just going to have the exact same things in my booth that I had last weekend, because I honestly didn't sell all that much. I sold some things, 10, 11 transactions, something like that. But it's not like, you see these people making the 3D print toys. They're just selling things. They're just busy, busy, busy nonstop. That was not me. That is not me. I'm going to take some things to do there. And I don't really have a lot to re-sew because I did not sell a whole lot. Though I did sell the cutie cubes. I made a bunch of those. And then I've got these scrunchies I made. And I'm going to actually rip out and redo. It's going to be fun. But I'd like to put some animal stockings in there. I'm ironing on my nightstand. I missed. What kind of videos do you guys want to see? You guys want to see me you like chit chat videos? A lot of you just like chatting. I do too. Because a lot of you, I would do tutorials, but most of you guys know way more than I do. So, who am I teaching? Let's try this again. Can't really get my big old hand in there. My hands are pretty big. I'm a big person. 5'6". I'm sure there's bigger people than me, but for whatever reason, the people I know that are women are just smaller than me. 4 foot nothing. 5'4", something like that. My sister was 5'4". Kind of looks a little wacky. What do we got going on? How come this isn't? Here we go. I gotta iron that out. It's just so long. This will be for my dog. My first one will be for my dog. Because this is just too long. I can't stand it. What are you even gonna do here? Is it too long? Yeah, it's too long. It looks so silly. I even think I want to do a little more. Because it was just too long. It looked so goofy. Let's iron this. Let's just do one of these. I already did one of those. I want to do one of these. Did you know in these expensive irons, a lot of times your warranty is voided if you use distilled water? Because distilled water, something about it, the mist gets into the circuitry because of the, the viscosity, is it? The water's not really thick, but something about distilled water and it messing up the circuit boards, and so you void your warranty when you use distilled water. But you'd think you'd want to use distilled water. So I read, because I've got hard water, and I was like, if I've got hard water and I can't use distilled, what do? They said bottled water, or mix half of your tap water with half distilled, and then it wouldn't void my warranty. And I thought, boy, the more you know. Okay, here we go. The white chalk pencil is going to be too light because I've got white on here, so I'm just going to do like this. I'll let you guys know how these sell, if they even do. Am I recording? Yeah. Okay. The kids went to the Veterans Day parade, and I missed it because I was at the bazaar. It was on Saturday, and I guess my husband said everybody was complimenting the bags. I made parade bags. So we would take our kids to that parade even before I started sewing, and I noticed how my kids would lean over with their shallow little buckets, and the candy would fall out. As they leaned over, it would fall out as they put more in, especially younger kids. So I made these parade bags, I called them, and I put some, I used pipe cleaner, but I've got proper, what is it called, boning in now that I can make them more sturdy. Yeah, that's a better size, except what have I got going on here? A little notch. Yeah, I think that looks much better. The other one was just wacky. Now that looks cute. And my husband took them to the parade on Saturday. A bunch of people were saying, those are such cool bags. Because I made them cylindrical and like a tube.
It is 11:21 p.m. and I just got done. So then I got this brilliant idea, because there's a Veterans Day parade tomorrow. We take our kids. And anytime we've ever taken our kids to a parade, or like at the fair when they have to dig through hay to find candy, they have a tote bag. And the tote bag is floppy. They're always picking up candy and then like using their hand to try to finagle it open to drop the candy in. So I thought to myself, why not make a parade bag? Now, this is what I decided to do. I put boning in the top, which is pipe cleaner, to make it stay open so the kids could just drop candy in. I didn't want a handle to go over the top, so instead I riveted on a handle so they can hold it with one hand and use the other hand to scoop, scoop, scoop. But I thought about leaning down to pick up candy. I didn't want it to fall out, so I made it very long and deep so whatever they dropped in wasn't going to spill back out. So I call them parade bags. It's my own invention that I came up with trying to create something that my kids wouldn't spill all the candy in because I would see them during parades and drop the candy and then it would fall out of they wouldn't even get it into the bag. They're in such a rush. Other kids are rushing for the candy. Candy's falling on the ground and I'm just like, you just dropped all your candy. So I have these sturdy little bags that stay open with long enough that they can't spill it, right? And this is I added a little trim here, a cute little trim piece. I pieced together this America fabric with this America fabric. And I have a little lining peeking out around. That's the America one. Then my daughter likes Paw Patrol, so this is her Paw Patrol parade bag. And then my other daughter wanted balloons. So she has a balloon parade bag with an orange little trim detail there. And then my other son wanted to sleep with his, so he's sleeping with his. But I've got it done for 8:30 in the morning tomorrow, and it took me way longer than anticipated. It's nearly midnight.
But these, I had boning in them, or pipe cleaner, and it would stay open. And it had a handle so my kids could lean over and just throw the candy in, and it would fall down into the tube, and it wouldn't come back out. I thought that was awful clever. I invented those in my mind. I'm sure somebody's already got that. I'm sure somebody's already made something similar, but I had never seen it, so, I mean, I invented it to myself. I should have probably made a video about that. That would have been, maybe I could make a video about that. Parade bags. I remember how I did them. That was when I very, very, very first started learning how to sew. I had no idea what I was doing. I think I put I sewed my daughter's handle on, and I used rivets, I think, for my son. A lady told me I should sell them, but I just never did. Cutting 4 layers at a time gets a little tricky. You end up making mistakes. Fabric gets folded up on each other, and sometimes when I try to use time-saving methods, I end up taking longer because then I make mistakes. So what did my chief say in the Navy? He always said, slow is smooth and smooth is fast. And then oftentimes I just use a spray bottle instead of filling up my iron anyway. I mean, I started with it full, but I eventually just moved to a spray bottle. It's easier. All right, let's go back over there. And then I also bought twine. I'm just going to use a ribbon. Or should I use twill tape? Maybe that's what I'll do. But I bought, like the string twine. I left my crap scissors over there. Oh. I need to sharpen these. Let's do a hangy hooky like this. Better have too little than not enough. Wait. Better have too much than too little. Too little than not enough. I don't think I even need to use that right now. All right. Let's put this like that. And I was like, what is going on here? This is really not lining up. And it's because I messed it up. And I realized halfway down the line. Get it going, it goes quick. But if you're not careful, you'll rip your fabric here. This would go a lot faster if I wasn't recording. But here I am starting YouTube. There we go. What's the other way? Jelly stuff? Oh yeah, it's a little diamond. Let's put it right there. I gotta make the neck a bit wider on the next one because my hand is too big. I got a big old hand. I could just use my magnet. Boy, that looks terrible. Look at that wacky little bottom. It's not rounded anymore at all because I took my curves too quick. Gosh. Maybe I won't sell. Maybe I won't sell these. Okay, that was a big giant flop. If I wanted to add a topper, what would I do? I got this off Temu. It's stretchy. I think I have to put it on the lining first, don't I? I wonder if I can use my brain. That's tricky. I can't think. If I were to sew it on the top edge all around, yeah. Okay, I think I'm gonna have to sew it together. Pretty sure. Right? Right? Okay. Then we're gonna turn it right side out, I think. Daisy's safe place. And then where's my outer fabric? Oh, cute. Oh, she loves the blanket, honey. That's very sweet of you to give her a blanket. And then I'm going to sew it onto. I'm not even going to untuck those, am I? Yeah, I must. Should I top stitch this first? I need to measure. Dear. It's the Temu special. What is she doing? Around. Yeah.
Sit, lay down, smell.
Yeah, they do. I don't like the way the top of this looked, and I thought it looked silly without at least a cuff, so I'm going to put a cuff, and I'm going to stick the whole thing inside here.
I was becoming frazzled at this point, and what you don't see is me bringing it back, realizing that there's no way for me to turn it right side out, so then I chopped the whole thing off the top.
Don't burn yourself on that.
Oh, I won't.
Then I know that. Well, I know. All my shares is just a dude. I want it too much. I want it too much.
This is too big.
And I'm realizing here that I cut it too short, so I can't wrap it all the way around the stocking.
I
It was the biggest disaster ever. I don't know what I did when I sewed that piece. So that's going in the trash. This was the worst idea I've ever had. Things went left so fast. This stuff is everywhere. First I made the cuff. I don't know why I turned it inside out. What was it? My brain can't think in reverse. And then I made another one that wasn't big enough to put around the cuff. Had to throw that away. I put fuzz all over my entire phone. I got fuzz on my good blade. I just started using my good stuff for this fuzz. I don't know what I've got going on. I mean, look at this. It is covered in that fuzz. I was just gonna make these real quick. For the bazaar on Saturday, but I have been in here for 2 hours and I've accomplished nothing. What the heck? It's probably been more than 2 hours. I can't even lie. All right, so oh man, this is just not okay. Now it looks like mermaid tail instead of a dog bone. I am just going to clean this up. Instead, I'm just going to make my template for my card holders. Nice one.
I'm making a circle.
Trying. I'm kind of having a nightmare. Yeah, it's a little bit of a nightmare. What I just did was a little bit of a nightmare. How many inches is that? Yeah.
Can you tell me what all these bees are?
All these bees.
4 bees.
Metallic green bee, longhorned bee, leaf cutter bee, and honeybee.
Do all of them sting?
Yes.
I need to back some people.
What, honey? Oh, you found me a protractor, honey. Why are you so thoughtful? Where'd you get that? Wow.
I can get one.
I got one here. Wow, honey. You are something special. Wait.
I got it.
Thank you, baby. I need you actually to iron this before I cut it because it's too wrinkly to get a straight cut, if you don't mind.
Yes. Love ironing.
Thank you. I'm going to make card holders. Like, you know how it's hard for you to hold a card? cards. These you use as like a CD or a DVD, and you wrap it in fabric, and then use a button and put two CDs together, and it makes like a little holder for.
How many inches is this? How many inches?
It's about 8.5. honey.
I actually need something. Look at I can.
She's giving them as
I'm
Christmas
going
gifts.
to jump over this red circle without moving.
So I'll probably have to
Look
just
at the Saya.
order some buttons and then.
Without touching it or moving it. Look
You know, that is a question I haven't been able to
without
answer.
touching it or moving it.
Oh yeah,
Look it.
Joanna, that's cool. I genuinely have no idea how to turn it off. Honey. I really don't.
And
I
I
just
can
yeah, I
do this
unplug it
without
because
touching it
there's no off.
or move. I think there's. Look it. And I can do this without touching it and moving it. Look at Josiah.
Hold on, baby. He's trying to read the iron to figure out how to.
How's it on? Not going on. Cotton.
It just goes back and reverse, reverse, reverse. I really don't know how to turn it off.
Then it goes to linen. Then it goes down.
Yep.
Why?
I don't know.
It's cotton and then.
Say bye, iron.
Bye. Bye, iron. Bye, iron. Piece that actually shoot. I tried to make the trigger curve. I made this bottom part little because the corner is not good for the rubber band.
Oh yeah, okay.
A 2 brick. Push it. When you push it, it'll curve.
Okay, now fire it toward the counter over there.
No sounds. And this is what it
Why
is.
you take that off?